How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another episode. And this one's not really much of an adventure, but the other week I went out and did my very first PADI freediving course with Alex from Primal Minds, and I thought I'd put together a short video for those of you who might be interested in doing a freediving course, because going into the course I had no idea what to expect at all, so I'm hoping that this video can give you guys a rough idea of what goes on in these courses. And also, I got this new mic the other day that I'm going to be playing around with a bit, and I'm hoping that it can improve the overall quality of my future voiceovers in my videos. So the course was down in Mount Gambier, which is about a 5-hour drive from Adelaide, and it was starting on the Monday morning. So we decided to head down on Sunday so we could relax and settle in before the course started. So we got up nice and early the next day and were greeted by a hot and dry summer's morning. We then smashed out a big breakfast because we weren't going to eat until dinner, and then headed back to our cabin to begin the course. The course began with a few hours of theory, where we just went over the basics of freediving and talked about what it actually is. We then discussed breathing techniques, equipment, hyperventilation, equalization techniques, and a lot of other stuff. It was heaps chill and interactive though, and didn't feel at all if we were stuck in a classroom or in a lecture theatre, and Alex did a great job putting together the slides, making them easy to follow and understand. So after we finally got all the theory out of the way with, we moved on to the practical side of freediving and headed to the swimming pool for a couple hours, where we ticked off our static apnea of 90 seconds and dynamic apnea of 25 meters. We also went through all the safety and recovery procedures in the case of a blackout, and I must say it was pretty funny doing the rescues.
David, help! David, you alright?
So after we ticked off all those things, we then headed to Little Blue Lake, which honestly should really change its name to Little Green Lake, because the viz was just green. But it is one of the freshwater sinkholes in Mount Gambier and is 45 meters deep and sits at a constant 12 degrees all year round. But there, we worked on our duck dive technique, our free immersion dive, which is diving down using only the rope to pull yourself down, and the constant weight dive, which is just a normal dive. But basically, we were all just getting used to diving while facing the rope, because none of us had done it before. So after spending a couple hours working on our dives, we then headed out for dinner, and we were absolutely starving because we hadn't eaten anything since breakfast. Anyway, we got up early again the next morning and headed back to Little Blue Lake to tick off the final things for the course.
Currently just started drizzling. Warm summer's day.
So the last two things we had to tick off was performing a rescue at depth, which was actually really helpful to do and learn. And I'd watched many videos on YouTube on how to perform a rescue, but actually doing it yourself is quite different. And after practicing it a few times, I now feel a lot more confident in carrying out a water rescue if I ever need to.
David, you alright? David. Meg,
Alright, he's
David,
not breathing,
right?
so check for breathing. That's it, he's not breathing.
Yep.
So we can start with 2 rescue breaths.
Good. David. Meg, you alright? You alright there? Good.
So the last thing we had to tick off was a constant weight dive to at least 10 meters. I already knew though that I could get to 10 meters easily, so wasn't too worried. And on this dive, I managed to get down to 20 meters my first attempt, which was pretty cool. Alright, so that's it guys. I said it was going to be a short one, and plus I didn't get much footage anyway because I was too busy focusing on actually learning and doing the course. But if you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask me or message me. But if you're serious about spearfishing or freediving and actually want to get better, I really recommend doing a course. And looking back, when I first started spearfishing, I really wish I'd done one, because it would have basically taught me about all the safety precautions and just how to dive correctly and safely, which I had to sort of figure out on my own. And I would have saved so much more time if I just had gone and done a course. So if you're new to the sport or want to get started, I can't stress enough how beneficial doing a freediving course is going to be to your diving. And not only is it going to teach you how to do it properly, it's really going to fast track your learning and make you a better diver. Also, one last thing guys, but there's going to be a few changes regarding this channel for next year, which I'm going to talk about in next week's episode. But until then, I wish you guys all a Merry Christmas. Peace.